First off, I'd like to thank you for purchasing my New England Patriots offensive ebook. I picked this ebook to do because it's definitely one of the most unique, playbooks in the game. There's a lot of formations that aren't in a lot of other playbooks, and without a doubt, it's got some of the best passing plays. In this entire game. I mean, this is one of the it's probably the premier passing playbook next to perhaps the Saints. It's this book and the Saints. So this one here I definitely had to do. It's also very popular online, so I wanted to make sure that I put my spin on it. Other than that, if you're watching the full video on my Patreon, just continue watching. And if you're watching this on my ebook, make sure you click the next link and we'll get started. First up, out of the single back wing tight, we have the mesh. Now this play here, all you really have to do is motion out Hill and put Allen here on a streak. That's the setup. Basically, Allen's job really is just to pull coverage back so that Hollister, I don't even know who that is, but Hollister comes open underneath him on the drag. It's basically the check down. But the R1 route, if it's a cover 3 or whatever this coverage is, he typically gets open for a nice catch and run. I probably could have caught that and ran. But that's basically the look. I'm not entirely sure. I was talking too much. I'm not entirely sure what the coverage was. But cover 3, cover 4 will have that effect. So I'm sure it's going to be one of those routes. This one's definitely cover 3. I was watching it a little bit better. And you can see how it gets open for an easy catch and run. If you make that guy miss, you can go pretty far. Allen's also pretty good in a cover 2 scenario. I thought this maybe was cover 2. That's why I was talking about it. But it was cover 3 once again. So I probably should have went to him again. But I just wanted to show off the check down as well. And I guess the last read is Hogan, but I don't think you're ever going to get there. So this looks like it might be a cover 4. We're going to find out. Like I said, once again, sometimes that window, I should probably pass a little bit earlier so that window wasn't so tight. But that's pretty much the play. Nothing too crazy. All the plays, or all the routes rather, take place on the right side. Next up, out of the single back wing tight, we have the dive. No real adjustments to this. It's just, line up and run it, and it's just got really good blocking. I mean, I got about 5 yards there. That's really all there is to it. 5 to 6, 7, 8 yards, whatever. But there's just, you have 3 tight ends, so you should get the push that you want, and you should be able to get easy yards. Third down and short or something like that, this is going to be a really good play. Next up, out of the single back wing tight, we have the PA drive. This play here, all I really want to do is put Allen on a slant, or you can put him on a drag. It doesn't really matter. But he's coming back to basically get these, to come underneath these other 2 routes. Now, the 2 routes themselves are all right. As you can see right here, triangle, if I'd have threw a little bit quicker, probably would have been, a little bit more open for catch and run. But realistically, you're just kind of playing circle, which is an all-out man blitz, so that's probably going to be the best option against man. But you're really just playing circle, mostly against Hollister. I'm going to be looking, like that guy right there. The circle will pull down your user middle linebacker and your computer coverage to the point where you can basically just hit triangle over the middle more times than not. And like I said, we got that. Like I said, that's gonna pull that window. That circle route coming across will move that middle linebacker, and it'll create that throwing lane for Hollister, the triangle route. You also have, if you want to run it like this, if you like the bench switch, which I'm not a huge fan of, you can just run it like this. But like I said, it's not my play. I didn't make a very good read, but if you like the bench switch, that's completely your option. Next up, out of the single back wing tight, we have the counter weak. Once again, no adjustments to this play. Just line it up and run it. Because you have so many tight ends to the other side, your opponent might typically be cheating in that direction. And then you can see how you basically get some pretty good run lanes to the opposite side. Like I said, anytime you have this many tight ends in a formation, you're going to have a lot of blocking, a lot of really solid blocking. Next up, out of the single back wing tight, we have the PA roll left tackle. This year, I'm going to put Hill on a motion just like he was in the first run play. Put him on either a slant or an in route, and that's going to be your best option. I kind of like the in route, to be honest with you. That's a pretty, as far as timing goes, that's a pretty good setup. And you can see how he basically hesitates the lower coverage zones to pull that window. This is a good play off of, like I said, the first pass play that I showed motioned out the running back the same way. So this is going to be a good way to play off of that. But like I said, the running back over here is basically just a check down. One of those 2 routes will be open, the high or the low over the middle. So you have to put him into a route to motion him to start. Gronkowski's not a terrible route. Hollister's a good check and release. If anything, Gronkowski, he just kind of comes open across. But right there, I was staring him down, and I didn't really see him get open. So it's really just a high-low read on the 2 right routes. Unless you like the C route there, unless you're a C route person, which they're not as good as they have been in the past. But against, man coverages, it's still pretty good. But this is pretty much the look. Next up, out of the single back wing tight, we have the PA flood. Yeah, this play right here, all you really want to do is put Gronkowski on a a drag. I forgot what it was there for a second. Run it just like this. You're basically just looking for that running back who got tackled on that play. So it doesn't really matter though because you have another check down in the drag route tight end. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to create a one-man screen here. But you have other options. Like I said, the triangle route here gets open behind it. All right, so let's go ahead. Like I said, if it's a man coverage, like it looks like it's going to be here, if you have a better tight end, I don't know who this Hollister guy is. He's probably bottom of the barrel type of tight end. But if you have an actual tight end playing that spot, he will get open. But you can see he's struggling. Like I said, I never even heard of the guy. So he's obviously not that great. But if you have a decent tight end there, he should get open. And then, like I said, I'm kind of looking for this one-man screen, which is, giving a little bit of issue for the second. But typically, this running back will come open underneath everything, but not against man. That was man, so that was not the best read. So basically, if you have a zone coverage, the running back should be open. And if it's a man coverage, Hollister should be open. But like I said, he's not a very good tight end. Here's that one-man screen. Like I said, oh, that was a great block by Gronkowski. He didn't quite get the block, but typically you'll get more out of that. So here we go. One more time. We have that zone. Like I said, this guy here, block somebody, Gronkowski. Like, he just completely stopped dead. So he's not doing his job. But typically online, you won't have that problem. He'll make that play. Next up, out of the single back wing pair, we have the tight end attack. This play here, you can run it just like this. I think motioning out this Hollister guy again and putting him on an in route is probably the best way to go. And then I'd also like to put Hogan on an out route and then smart route him. I think that'd be the best setup. But you can see how you're just basically going to play off these tight ends off of one another. This guy right here, he's a half decent tight end, Dwayne Allen, so he can get it done. He's not fast, but that's the only thing. So motioning out once again, Hollister. I don't even know who this guy is. That's the key one. The out route here is just a little bit extra. You don't necessarily have to do that. So here we go. We're going to hit that over the top. You can see how that running back pulls that linebacker down. So, if you run it like this, I just don't think that Hollister's route really does anything. It's not the end of the world. You can see nobody got open there, to be honest with you. So you kind of have to do this adjustment and then just put him on a regular in route. That's all there is to it. Hogan, you can leave him on that streak. I just kind of want him out of the way. But here, at least he's useful. So you can see here, Gronkowski crosses the defender's face in a man coverage real easy. Next up, out of the single back wing pair, we have the PA tight end seam. So this one right here, all I'm going to do is put the circle route on a drag. I have my choice if I want to motion in Hogan. If it's a zone coverage, if I put Hogan on a streak, that's going to be really effective to get these underneath routes open. I think this is a zone coverage, so we're going to do that. But you can see right here, this guy here, when you streak that guy, Gronkowski, or this route rather, I guess it was the R1 route, is going to beat deep a lot. But you also lose your best man beater, which is Hogan. So here we go. This looks like a blitz. I'm going to guess it's a man, and then Hogan is just a dirty man beater. He's going to come back under that every time. So really your call. I think the best way to do it is probably just like this. Probably just stock. And we're trying to get that over that dude's head. Oh, he made the play. He made the play anyway. But like I said, man zone, those are your two options. If your opponent's running one heavily, like this looks like he's definitely coming out in the zone because that cornerback didn't follow when I motioned him in. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to beat that up. And if that guy didn't drop down, that circle route would be a huge catch and run. So it's going to get beat one way or the other. If that linebacker doesn't drop, you take the circle route. It's a big play. Next up, out of the single back wing pair, we have the halfback stretch. So this play right here, all you're going to do is motion out Hollister. He'll work out as a receiver now. So if he can get a block on that cornerback, that would be great. You'll typically see better than what that's getting. You can also flip it the other way and run it to the short side. If you think there's too many defenders, it's going to act like a quick pitch. It's just going to hit the outside really quick like it did there. Next up, out of the single back wing pair, we have the PA Experts Cross. So this play right here, all you're really going to do is, you can do a couple of different things, but all I like to do is put R1 on a drag. This guy here, he's not really doing anything. What Hogan's doing is nothing. We're just basically going to play the 3 levels of passing over the middle, and we're just getting some crazy heat now. Come on. So this circle route really doesn't do anything. So if you want an extra pass blocker, you can put circle on the drag, and that'll leave in at least one blocker. And then, like I said, you're playing 3 levels of passing here. You have your running back underneath, and then you have Gronkowski over the top. So you can run just like this. The circle route, wow, that was crazy. Come on. So you can run just like this. The circle route here, you know, if they drop down, I mean, once again, Gronkowski's open. Hogan's just pulling the coverage back. And then you have the one-man screen option, which I showed in a previous play, which I'm trying to get. But basically, if you have a zone, it's going to be that guy, as long as he doesn't get caught up on the line like he did there. And then he tripped over his own feet, so that didn't work out too great. But typically, you can catch and run, and then you get a blocker out of the dragging, whichever guy you choose to drag, whether it's Allen or Hollister. Next up out of the single back ace, we have the wide receiver quick. You want to make sure you have your fastest guy here, obviously. So Philip Dorsett will do just fine. So like I said, speed at that receiver. Just going to hit the guns the second you get the ball. Try to get outside. There was a lane there. I mean, I probably could have hit that too, but I would have got about the same yards. So motion him in. You know, I don't motion him in. Once you hike the ball, that's what happens. So this guy right here, I mean, you're gonna think you got that angle, son, and then I'm just gonna basically, you know, I have a really fast receiver. So if you have a fast receiver, it's gonna be deadly. You can flip the play without actually, you know, causing anything to happen. The quarterback doesn't change anything, but realistically, you always want to make sure you're running it to the open side of the field and to your fastest receiver, which, you know, Hogan is definitely not the type of guy you want running this. But this jet stream play, I mean, with the agility and the speed that this guy has, or whatever receiver you put there, should be a really nice play you can run consistently. Next up out of the single back ace, we have the PA fake quick. This play is going to have the same motion as the previous one. I find it's best to run it from one of the far hash marks, but I'm not going to do that because you're going to need space. But you can see how you can just catch that and turn up. That was actually pretty good coverage, but I still got about 10 yards regardless. As far as other options, you can always put Gronkowski on a slant so that you can try to draw that linebacker in coverage back. But realistically, I'm also canceling the play action. As you can see right there, having Gronkowski out there did a really good job on that particular play. He basically just drew the coverage back. That's all I really wanted to do. And then, you know, Hogan and Gronkowski crossing one another is really good. But like I said, I mean, that's a man coverage. That's just going to beat that all day for big plays because of the motion being so far out. So once again, you can flip this play the same way. Nothing really changes. But I don't think that that's necessarily. Once again, you always want to run into the fastest guy. So if you only have one, that's going to be the guy to do it to. So here's another man coverage. Like I said, this is a dirty play on man coverage right there. Next up out of the single back ace, we have the 0-1 trap. Since there's a motion on two of these plays, I would recommend motioning Dorsett. Not necessarily, you know, continuing the motion. You can very well, you know, cancel whenever you want to, either as a motion block or before he crosses the line. But you just want to make it look like those pass plays. So if you want to motion them all the way across, you can do that. It doesn't really matter. It's just, you know, you just want to do that to show that same look so your opponent is worrying about that last play that I showed, because that's obviously a really tough play to stop. So this here will just give you an advantage where the user middle linebacker will probably leave the middle. Next up out of the single back ace, we got the tight end cross. This play's not too bad, just like this. I would say that, you know, Hogan there, he isn't really doing anything. So he's just going to pull coverage for Gronkowski. And then the circle route is going to pull coverage pretty adequately outside for Allen as well. As you can see right here, we're just going to go and float that up. I don't know if I necessarily, you know, got the speed that I want out of that receiver, but it's all good. You have an option too. You can always motion over one of these tight ends. I think that Gronkowski, I think his route might turn to a drag when you motion him over, so he might not be the best play. But you can see that's still a good option. This is still a similar play to what I've been running, and I don't know what happened there. I don't know how he blocked that, but it's all good. But if you motion over Gronkowski, he will change into a shorter route, but that's still a decent look with the high-low of the two tight ends, and then Dorsett pulling coverage back, so they'll come open underneath that. So we'll go ahead and run it like that one more time. And like I said, not the best receiver, but he's still making the plays. But if you motion over Allen, though, his route does not change. So he'll be doing this to the sideline, which is still also a decent option. I don't know, like I said, he's just not the guy that I want running this route, but you can see he's still getting it done. Do it one more time. In this scenario, putting Hogan on like a drag or something would make the most sense, because he's just not really doing anything. So here we go. He got caught up on a funky animation there, but he would have been open if I throw it in the break like that. Throw this in the break. We're going to get that guy open. So let's do this one more time. So he's getting caught up a little bit, but you can see how he's just destroying that man coverage, and he's not even a fast tight end. So that's a good play. Next up out of the single back ace, we got the PA tight end post. Once again, we're just going to motion over this tight end What Hogan's doing is pretty feckless. There's nothing really to his route, so I'm not really going to do anything. But we're just going to motion this guy over. We're going to get that high-low, and we're also going to get that clearing play. As you can see, Dorset's just coming open right through the cover 3 seam right there. Let's go ahead and let's do this one more time. See if I can, hit one of these tight ends. And we have, a man coverage, so I could take either one of them there. But because of the route that Hogan's running, he kind of draws attention into Gronkowski. So realistically, you'd probably be better served just putting him on a streak, just to get him the hell out of there. Put him on an out route and then smart route him so that he actually has a somewhat effective route. But you have a lot of options here. So we're going to go up top to Gronk. If he had a little more speed, he probably would have been gone. But yeah, the out route and the smart route for Hogan will obviously create a window deep for Gronkowski. I'm not really sure if that's going to be the case here because it's a cover 2, but you can see he still splits it down the middle. Couple of good routes here as far as cover 2 goes. Dorsett should be a good cover 2 beater as well. So hopefully we get another cover 3 so I can show off Gronkowski's route once again. But we are getting a man coverage, so we're just going to go ahead and possession catch that with Gronk, and I probably could have caught that and ran. He was behind. He did not have a play on that ball. So here we go. One more time. Trying to get that look for Gronk. And he's just open over the middle because that, it's a cover 2. So here we go. One more time. Like I said, if I can get a cover 3, I can show off this guy. I'm not sure what coverage that was. It was still there, though. You know what I mean? It was still a window. But let's get a cover 3 here. Let's get a cover 3 one more time for Gronk. And it looks like we have it. And if it doesn't, one of these two will be open on a cover 3, either Dorsett or Gronk. Next up, out of single back ace cloaks, we have the halfback toss. Now we have the option to motion this guy over and do a little motion snap, which worked for a second there. I think it was going to work. I thought that dude had the edge, but it worked. As you can see here, I mean, we have this guy crashing down. You can also motion Allen over, but I don't know if he's going to work. He doesn't get wide, so he's not going to necessarily work as well because I want to get this edge. But you can see how it still helped to drive that block out and get me up the center. So it's really up to you which one it goes. I would definitely like to run this from a far hash mark too if I have my choice. Although realistically, if you can flip the play, you can do it however you want. So it doesn't really, you can do it with the direction stick too. You don't have to actually flip the play. You can just hit the direction stick, which is cool. But I'm going to try to get, this guy out here wide, get him on that block. And just even if he hesitates in there, I got 5-6 yards just because he didn't hold up the block, but he hesitated it. He definitely, forced the issue. The furthest out he'll go is, as you see right there, he cuts back. So I like to motion block him when he's behind the tackle. Like there, he just kind of cut back because he went out too far. You're shooting for the hike the ball when he's in between the center and the receiver, as you can see right there. That's what aims him to the right direction. But I'll take an average of 5 or more every time. So here we go, sending him. That snapping him in the right direction just sends him in. Sony Michel has no shake and bake, by the way, but it just sends him in the right direction. Next up, out of single back ace close, we have this halfback stretch. You can use the same motion block, but you have to make sure it's not against man. If it's against man, you can either snap it right away, or it's definitely not going to help if you let him go all the way across. So here we got the guy crashing down. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to flip it. Nothing changes. You know what I'm saying? We have, no animation for flipping it, so real easy play. Next up, out of the single back ace close, we have the PA cross. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to put Gronkowski on a drag. And that's basically the look. We have that, the circle route right here up, or not the circle route, the square route right up the center, whether it's cover 2 or cover 3, even cover 4. But in that scenario, you definitely want to hit R2 to cancel the play action right about here, so you're not getting in any trouble. So once again, even cover 2 is going straight up that seam for an easy pass. Just make sure you hit that R2 because that R1 route can take you in some serious, out of your position, as you can see right there, all-out blitz. You got your checkdowns in Gronkowski and the running back. If it's a man coverage, obviously Gronkowski's going to be better. And if it's a zone, you're running back. So we're not really getting, here they drop down. So that was like a hard flat. Take that circle route coming over the middle, easy catch and run, big play. So hit R2 right about here. hit that man coverage beater, and he didn't catch it, but the pressure was on. I could have waited. The longer you hold it against man, the better, but you don't always have that choice. As you can see right here, that's another zone, and it doinked him in the ear. I don't know what that was, but he would have been gone. So we're going to move on. Next up, out of the single back ace close, we have the double cross. So we're just going to put Hogan here on an out route. That's pretty much it. Now you have your bench switch concept, and for whatever reason, he just got open by about 5 to 10 yards. So we're going to do that again. Real simple. Like I said, you know, it's just he didn't catch it. But if you have your faster receiver there too, it'd probably be good. Wish I could have Dorsett all over the field, I know. But like I said, see how it pulls that window? And boom, you got him not holding on to it, but it was still there. So do one more time. Like I said, wide open. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a bench switch I can get used to as he catches it and keeps running. I'm not really looking too many other ways. I'm going to have my drag as a check down. But like I said, there, boom. You got it right in the hole. And Dwayne Allen he has plenty of time to hang on to it, but he's not. No big deal, though. He's not a great tight end. Not anymore, anyway. So like I said, huge opening. It's creating a huge opening. I'm going to start possession catching it because he can't hold on to it otherwise. We'll go one more time. I mean, it's a real easy read. You know what I'm saying? You know where it's going to be no matter what, even if I get sacked. You're just looking square, triangle. So right here, square's not it, triangle's it. You know what I mean? Doesn't matter the coverage too much either. And I really wish I had Gronkowski and Dorsett. You know, I could flip the play. I might do that here in a minute. But here we go. We got a man throwing in the break. Like I said, doesn't quite have the speed that I want. So I'm going to flip the play one time. So I got my my speed guys over here. And that's that. I wasn't even the best read. But like I said, he's got the speed. So it's going to work out. So here we go one more time. Like I said, I could probably go the triangle route here, whether it's cover 2 or cover 3. He should get up behind it. Did he drop the ball again? You can block your running back, but it's such a quick read that I haven't really bothered. Just not really 100% necessary. So like I said, they don't cover that outside. Look at that, man. I might be able to go here with all this speed. Instead, I get lit up and I fumble the ball, but that's fine. You can see the setup. Next up, out of the single back ace slot, we have the halfback slant 18. So all I'm going to really do is flip this back towards my receivers. Although realistically, because of that blitzing safety, I probably wouldn't do that. So we'll go ahead and we'll just leave it out where it is. Since it's a blitzing safety on that side, it's probably a man coverage. So we'll go ahead and we'll motion block this guy, although he just ran the opposite direction. But that's fine. Still worked out. If I had a little more speed, probably would have been gone. But ideally, I want to flip it back. But if you got a man coverage like this is a man coverage, you can just go ahead and run it just like this and get that edge. And if I can make one guy miss, because Sony Michel has not been doing that very much. But definitely an easy play. So this guy looks like he's blitzing outside here. My receiver gets a hat on him, and then, like I said, not enough speed to get to the edge. So it looks like might be a zone here. So I'm gonna go ahead and run to the short side behind the receivers, and you know we're getting good yards, good plays, good yards every time. Next up, out of the single back ace slot, we have the PA Scissors Flood. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drag Gronkowski. If it's a man coverage or you know an immediate throw like there, I can throw it to the triangle route. But typically against zone, I'm gonna hit the running back. So here we go. Cancel this play action because the heat's coming fast. And then, like I said, this running back, if it's a zone, you can typically get a catch and run with the running back as I get about 10 yards there. Do this one more time. Like I said, if it's a man like this is, and if you have a fast tight end, which Dwayne, you know, Allen's not the fastest guy, but he'll get open there. You can see right there. So that's pretty much it. There's not a lot of other reads. Just the you know, man for Allen. Although Gronkowski works against man as well, and then zone for the running back. Next up, out of the single back wing, we have the halfback stretch. So this play right here, you just kind of have, you're always going to have the edge, which is pretty much ideal when running outside. You want to have outside leverage, and this formation just has it in spades. No matter what you do, it's going to be there. So we're just going to go ahead, we're going to take this outside behind our blocking, and we just have an easy 5 to 10 pretty much every time. Next up, out of the single back wing, we have the PA boot left tackle. So here we go. We're going to keep running the play just like this. Cancel this play action. I don't want to be pulled out of the pocket too much, especially against blitzes like that, so you can throw it to this guy. So we'll go ahead and we'll do this again. Like I said, cancel this play action. You don't want to roll out all the time. And then this is a really good option, especially against man. Although on the other side, you have a really good option against man also in this comeback route. Well, he's also good against zone, though. So, you know, all these routes get open, basically. I mean, the circle route there will get open against cover 3 zones, against cover 2. I don't know what that is. That's like a cover 4 match. So we're just going to go over the top with that one. Anytime they run a cover 4 match like that, it's just going to get toasted. So I'm going to do this one more time. I haven't really highlighted the R1 route, which is typically a pretty good route. And we're going to go again because they're playing that man blitz like exclusively pretty much. So here we go. One more time. Like I said, that R1 route's really good, but if it's pulling all the coverage down, you can typically go over the top. That was a good play, though. You're not going to see that very often. So here we go one more time on that comeback. You know what I'm saying? That comeback route should be as money as any route on this play. Or in the game, for that matter. Next up at a single back wing, we got the halfback toss crack. They recently patched this to be even more successful than it is, which is kind of incredible considering it's such a good play. Oh my God, Sony Michel can't make a single player miss, I swear to God. He's getting benched. He makes no misses at all. He makes no missed tackles at all. So we're going to run this one more time with this bum. Like I said, the toss crack was already successful, and they went ahead and patched it to make it more successful blocking. I don't even understand that. So let's go ahead and let's do this one time. We have a little bit of a disadvantage in blocking over here, but I don't care. Because watch this. Watch how this dude... Oh my God, really? The Jets are just that nasty after one win? Is that what it is? So we're going to do it one more time. That's perfect blocking, although this dude just didn't quite get the speed, and then I don't know what happened there. So it worked out. They were jumping over the guy on the ground, I guess. So really good run play. Next up out of the single back wing, we have the close PA post. All right, so yeah, all we're going to do is put R1 on a streak. And that's pretty much going to be the play. If it's a cover 2, you can have this guy right up the middle there. He is going to be your fastest receiver. It looks like a 3 tight end set, but it is actually a wide receiver on the line like that. So that's going to be key. But realistically, this is still a good cover 3 beater play. As you can see, that cover 3 cornerback still drops down, and then you have your fastest receiver breaking over the top. This play is really 2 plays. I mean, you're just kind of throwing cover 3 and then square. You know what I mean? I mean, not cover 3. You're throwing that'll get up against everything. But you're throwing to the circle route, and you're throwing to the comeback if the circle route's not there. So here we got a cover 2 man, I guess. And then, like I said, every time that guy's gonna get open every time. So if the big play's not there, go to that guy. So here we got looks like a cover 3. So I'm hopeful that I can make this happen. And he was gone. You can see he's flying down there, but it's probably my fault. So let's do this one more time. All out blitz man coverage. I'm going to try to throw it to, you know what I mean? Like, if it's an all out blitz like that, he's going to be gone. One more time. If we got a cover 3 here, this will be a goner. And we're just going to hit that comeback route because, like I said, the blitz is coming. He's going to be open against everything. So here we go. Big time shot play. Got some blocking. We're getting all out blitzes again, which is kind of not fair, but it's gonna work against that too. Let's get some cover. There's cover 2, and we're gonna pass lead it back, go over the top of cover 2, touchdown. So here we go one more time, another cover 2. Or he's wide open though. He didn't get covered that time. I don't know why. What happened there, bro? I guess the mid read took the other receiver. Next up out of the single back wing, we have the close PA cross. So this here, all I'm really going to do is put Gronk on a streak. If I motion in Hogan, which it doesn't even let me do anymore, and maybe they patched that. But either way, we're trying to get these slanting, dragging tight ends open anyway, and we're just going to kind of wait for this guy. It's not even a tight end, my bad. It's the receiver lined up in the tight end position. So all I'm going to do is put X on a streak. Doesn't let me motion in Hogan anymore. So they broke that. So here we go. We're just going to go ahead. We're going to wait for that circle route to clear. And that's really the big play. It's just a catch and run to this guy. That's pretty much what it is. And I tried to double juke and get up the field, but it didn't work out. But this is basically the play. So we're just going to keep doing this. Like I said, circle's going to be there. If I got to pass lead it up and float it a little bit, didn't quite get it. But, you know, you can see there's always the throwing lane. But it's really just those 2 guys that's all you're working. Next up at the single back wing, we got the tight end attack. I put this play out in a previous formation, but all you're going to do is put this guy on an in route. And then you can also put Hogan on an out route and smart route him if you want to. But that's really, you know, up to you, your choice. But the R1 route, that you're basically watching the 2 tight ends over the middle until they get open. But yeah, so then you got your circle, which is your check down. It's going to be a play here. But you can see he pulls a window. You know what I'm saying? Like all these guys pull windows for one another. That's the idea. But you can leave Hogan on the streak. It's not really part of the play. I don't really look his way too much. So here we go. Gronkowski, you know, accelerates across the face of the defender. He drops down on the lower route anyway. And this is pretty much the play. So, like I said, if he doesn't pull like there, the guy never even reacted to the deeper route. He just froze and sat there. So that's basically it. And then you got your circle, which is going to be your check down. Next up, out of the single back wing slot, we got the inside cross. It's another play that I put out already. I'm just going to motion this guy out, streak Allen. You know, the circle route could, or not the circle route, the triangle route could be open right away. I'm going to know right away. But if I don't, I have this guy here as the check down, and he gets underneath the pulling tight end. That's the idea. So if you have a cover 3, like these are looking like man coverages, you know, it's not necessarily, it's a zone. It's cover 3 zone. I just, you know, I was thrown off by that guy motioning out when the running back motioned out. But if you have cover 3s, ideally, this guy's going to be the guy, which once again, I'm not entirely sure, but you'll know right away because, like I said, he'll either back up or something of that nature. So that was a cover 2. It'll be cover 2 as well. Deep. I probably could have caught and ran that. Pass let it outside a little bit too strong. So my first read is definitely that running back. I'm watching that running back all the way. As you can see right here, we got a man coverage, so we're going to try to take that whole thing. You know what I mean? But that running back is pretty much doing it all game long, no matter what. And then, like I said, you're, you know, Allen's just pulling coverage back for your check down, really. But he can get open. If it's like a cover 3, like this looks like it might be. I actually did the wrong route there. But if it's a cover 3, which just looks like it might be, you might have that lane too. But realistically, I'm going for that guy in a cover 3 anyway. So there's no point. And me putting him on the fade kind of messed up the whole play. So realistically, just put him on a streak. Streak him, leave him like that. Stay on the running back. I totally messed that up. I hit X twice. Luckily, it wasn't picked off. So streak Allen, motion out White, and that's the play. And like I said, we got that all out. Man, I didn't actually have him beat, but I tried anyway, and it's didn't work out. So we're getting some crazy blitzes here. So streak Allen, triangle is going to be the play. Hopefully, I'll get a little bit of time, which I knew it wasn't going to happen, but we can all dream, can't we? So here we go. Once again, this is a blitz. So this is just crazy. We don't have anybody on the running back. This can happen. This can happen. You know what I mean? If that happens, just chuck it up. If for whatever reason the linebacker doesn't follow, it's a fail on EA's part. Next up, out of the single back wing slot, we have the halfback stretch. Nothing too crazy here. It's just the best run play in the formation. I like flipping it back to the receivers. I always feel like, even though receivers aren't classically good blockers in this game compared to tight ends, I just feel like they get the edge better because they're further out. You could always motion over one of these guys and try to get that edge, especially if it's a zone coverage like right here. He's just going to kind of pull the guy out, but then the safety drops down anyway. You know, but it's really, you know, there's a couple different ways to do it, but I'd say just flip it back to the receivers. Probably the best way to go. So we're going to do it one more time. There's a big lane right there, 77. You know, he didn't follow me like I wish he would have, but it's whatever. Good play. Next up, out of the single back wing slot, we have the PA post shot. All I'm going to do is put R1 on a drag. That's it. Got your high-low. You got your pulling coverages. And then, you know, I'm really playing these guys. Like, the two receivers aren't really in my read structure too much. Because if it's a cover 2, like that one appeared to be, this is what my thought was. But if you have like a man coverage, obviously, you know, this is going to be a big play because you have a linebacker covering a receiver there. But this is matching personnel. You know what I mean? This is a 3-4 defense, so it's not on me. But here we go once again. We got another man coverage, and that wasn't, you know, that throw actually kind of slowed him, which was kind of weird. So here we go one more time. We have a man coverage. And oh, Brady. Let's go. All right. I didn't think he was going to make that. I think he was going to throw it too far. Definitely had pressure in my face. Not a whole lot I can do about that. Oh. We're running. We're going to try to float that up again. Can we get out there? Oh, my goodness. You were just making plays all day, Phillip. Mr. Dorsett. Like I said, man coverage, obviously, that's going to be a good look. Zone coverage is really all about these guys, but that's a cover 2 man, and didn't quite have the window, but then when I threw it in there, he made the separation for some reason. so I'll take it. So here we go, man blitz or not, or zone blitz, whatever. So like we're just reading that one guy. If he drops down, You're gonna take the further receiver. If he drops back, you take the shorter receiver. Real simple play. I'm gonna go ahead and run this one more time because I want another touchdown. No, no, or a sack. I'll take a sack, but still, good play. Next up, out of the single back wing slot, we got the Jet 6 drive wheel. I don't want to move the ball over here. So you want to run this from a far hash mark just because all the routes are pretty much taking place on the other side. So here we're going to dot that up. Hopefully, man, better coverage than I was expecting. All right, so one more time. So here we go. We got that square. We got that a squaw route. But we're basically just watching those two receivers. I mean, that's the idea. So here we go again. Square. You know what I mean? So we have that, those two receivers over the middle are pulling coverage a little bit. And we're just basically looking for square circles. So here we go once again. We're going to have that all-out blitz. Why not? So we're just going to throw it over the top. That blitz wasn't nearly as bad as some of the other ones. But definitely take this check and release away for this play. You're going to need the blocking. So here we go. We got a little bit of thunder. Got to cover one man. Can Dorsett get past? Yes, he can. Thought it would have been a touchdown, though. So pass block that running back. That's about the only adjustment. And we're going to take that square right up against his. I've covered two once again. He's just not hanging on to it, though. Come on, Hogan. I expect more out of you. You're supposed to be a rugby player. Rugby players are supposed to be tough. So here we go. Cover one man. I don't know why he's pass leading that out so far. Come on, Brady. Pass block the running back. Real easy. There we go. Why did Circle get caught up there so long and then I get a horrible pass? He was gone, though. I don't know what happened there. Some serious holding. So here we go once again. Cover two man, I think. As Hogan's making the tough catch now. So next up out of the single back bunch ace, we got the PA fork shot. If I run this the way that I used to run it, either by motioning this guy out, smart routing him, but whatever, putting him on an out route, smart routing him, watch how the cornerback keeps dropping back. You know what I mean? That didn't used to happen. You still have a little bit of a window, but it's not what it was. So the real easy way to fix that now is just putting this guy on a comeback route. All right, so here, this looks like a cover three. So motioning out Hogan, putting him on a comeback route, putting Allen on an in route, and we'll still nail over the top of cover three, although I had to throw a little bit early, and the guy actually came back a little bit more than I was expecting. Like I said, this was a really good play. They patched it a little bit, but can still make it work against cover three. So it looks like we might have a cover three here. And we're going to be over the top with it. Definitely some pressure in my face, but still a big play against cover three. Next up out of the single back bunch ace, we got the quick pitch. Definitely want to move this back to the middle. So all I want to do is motion snap Dorsett. We have a safety coming down. It's probably going to be blitzing, so I'll be surprised if I can get this edge, but I still somehow do. You know what I mean? You can't necessarily run into the teeth of the dragon like that, but it's a good play. I use this in the goal line quite a bit. I find that it just sets up really well to get. You're pretty much guaranteed to get a couple of yards, and if it's good from the one or two like that, I'm not going to necessarily show it, but like I said, you can see how the blocking set up there. I mean, he's going downfield to get that deeper option, and the tight end's just taking out that cornerback, which is nice. So it's not always about getting to the edge, and sometimes it's about just getting up inside this hole. But it really depends how the blocking sets up. But really, kind of a beautiful setup. So I'll do it one more time. Like I said, I don't know if I feel the need to show it on the actual goal line. But James White is like miles ahead of Sony Michel, by the way. Jesus Christ, is he terrible. But like I said, goal line play. I guess I'll move it up and run it one time. It's pretty much the same thing. You see I'm getting consistent yards out of it. But if it's anything inside of, like, say, the two, I find it's pretty, first of all, you're going to force your opponent into some smaller packages. But look how easy it is to just walk in. You know what I mean? Like, this play is just so dirty. And a lot of that's because you have two tight ends out there in the bunch. Next up out of the single back bunch ace, we got the halfback wham. You probably need some better horses than what the Patriots have, but you can get a couple of yards pretty much every time. I should have bounced that outside. So let's do this one more time. There we go. That's what I'm expecting. Big holes like that. That's what I typically get. Next up out of single back bunch ace, we got the four verticals. So all we're gonna do is we're gonna drag Hogan. He's your check down. We'll beat man, and then we're just gonna go ahead. We're gonna, motion snap this guy. You're gonna have one of these two outside receivers open on pretty much every play. That's something. So you don't have to, you can have to motion snap. You can always just motion them out regular and make something happen that way. But you can see how that drag makes that dude drop down to him. So like I said, pretty much every route here gets open against something. So here we go. I'm going to take that drag. I could have took that R1 route if I wanted to. I probably want Dorsett doing what Hogan's doing, to be honest with you. So like I said, if you want to do this so that it works against cover 3, you kind of got to wait till Dorsett stops now to get the adequate spacing. And then there against cover 2, he's going to have a really big a potential for a big play if he holds on to it, but there he didn't feel like it. But you just can't motion snap Dorsett like you did pre-patch. You have to wait till he stops for that to work. So here we go against the R1 route. He's going to get open against cover 3 up the seam. He'll get open against cover 2 as well, but you have to pass lead him inside in between the safeties. The drag is good against users too. It'll pull coverage to the point where white will get open, but I don't think that it's going to happen too much against the computer. So here we go. Once again, we got the cover 2, and he's just gone up the sideline. So pretty much, both of these receivers beat cover 2 and cover 3, the outside, whatever those routes are called. I guess they're, I'm not even entirely sure, but I'm going to call them swing routes. But basically, they'll beat cover 2 and cover 3. Either this guy will beat it immediately, or he'll be against cover 3. He'll get open immediately. Like this looks like it might be cover 3. To the point where he'll just steal that all game. Or you can wait till, if it's against cover 2, it gets open deeper down the field. Same thing with Gronkowski. If it's a cover 3, he'll get open up the seam. And if it's a cover 2, he'll get open down the field, but you have to wait and kind of pass lead him back inside. Now that there's a cover 2 man. What I meant, when I said cover 2, I really meant cover 2 zone. But, he'll get open against cover 2 zone. So, moving on. Next up out of the single back bunch ace, we got the Z spot. So all we're going to do is we're going to streak Dorsett. The R1 route a lot of times will get open right underneath. But you're looking basically him and the outside slant, which is Allen, which I wish he was a little bit faster. I don't know if he's going to be able to get the job done, but we're going to try it anyways. He did get it done there. But if I'd rather have Gronkowski there, it's really a better option. But like I said, we're reading R1. If R1's not open, it's typically going to be this guy. But like I said, he's a slow bum. Not a very good receiver. So here might be a cover 2. Like I said, I just want to show just want to get on wax how this circle route busts it right up cover 2 right there. As you can see, he just gets past, even with the mid read in the middle. The mid read's not going to recognize that. Next up out of the single back bunch ace, we got the PA boot slide. This play you run it just like this. The R1 route a lot of times will get open underneath everything. The comeback route's about as money as it gets on this play. He'll get open every time against every coverage. But this is pretty much it. You're just kind of playing the two tight ends off of one another. Here, the R1 route, he's dropping down on it. Typically, you'll see that R1 route get wide open underneath, but it's not working out here. So there, we're just going to keep taking Hogan. I mean, he's going to be there. You know what I'm saying? So here's the R1 route. We're going to take that in a catch and run capacity. You usually get a little bit more space. I could have threw that out a little bit earlier and get him a little more time. The X route's really good over the middle. So, everything gets open here except for the circle route. It's not really part of my reads. Not saying he doesn't get open. I'm just saying it's not part of my reads. So here we go. Taking this Hogan again. Like I said, we're going to have that all game. 20 yards. Easy play. So here we go. R1. He's covering that. Fine. You know what I mean? Take that. And hang on to the ball. But it's whatever. He's open. Next up out of the single back tight slots, we got the drag cross ups. This is a cover 2 play. So here we can just motion this guy out, put him on a streak, and that's basically the look. You're going to have this guy coming right up the middle. As you can see, even with a mid-read, you're going to see how that basically beats that. So streak him, move him to the line. These guys are going to stretch him outside with these outside routes, and then he's just going to go right up the middle. I mean, that middle linebacker isn't even really paying attention. As you can see, he just goes straight up the center. So nothing too crazy. You have your drag routes underneath too, so you have excellent checkdowns. But I don't know why, but this guy just basically lets him go right by for a big play. Except out of single back tight slots, we get the halfback wheel. So all I'm gonna do is put Hogan here on an in route and motion out Patterson and put him on a comeback. Now, if it's a cover 3, that'll be the look, but this does not look like a cover 3. So we're gonna have the cover 2 right up the middle. So this is gonna be the route pretty much every time. So motion this guy out, in route Hogan. That's the play. Just need some pass blocking. And we're going to get that over the top, but I don't have enough space. Oh, he got it. He got it. I should move the ball back, honestly. I'm going to move the ball back to the 50. That was the issue on the last play where I didn't have enough space. And I'm going to move it over again. So motion out Patterson. In route Hogan. Here's the look. So we're just flooding that zone. You know what I'm saying? He's dropping back, but it's too late. You know what I mean? Oh, he didn't even get... I hit the button. So we'll do it again. Come back. In route. And we're just going to have... I don't know what he's running. Like palms or something? Like cover 4 palms? I don't know, but I'll take the check down there. So this looks like a cover 3. We'll get to bomb this up one time. Maybe it's not a cover 3. So like I said, I have my check downs, which is X. So we're just gonna playmaker him. Oh, he's still on his feet. I was giving myself up. So like I said, there's a good check down. Also find you can put Hogan on a streak, and it's pretty much the same thing. You know, it's pretty much the same effectiveness, but you know, you're just bombing it up over that cornerback. He hesitates slightly, and then you have a window, which that was not the best throw. That's the only issue is getting that throw in that window. Bullet, pass leading, you know, it's all there. So let's go ahead and let's do this one more time. We're rolling out, which isn't necessarily the best thing to do because that cornerback kind of recognizes it, but still, you're getting a good 5 yards of separation. You know what I'm saying? That cornerback bites. It's too late. You know, the running back is pulling that cornerback down too. I mean, that's part of it. So the running back, if that cornerback bites, and me rolling in that direction is actually a negative, as you can see right there. You can't roll out anymore. Even though he didn't catch that ball, you can see he's open once again. But you got to buy your time before you roll out, because once you start rolling out, the cornerback just drops back. You can see it. But if you do it at a certain point, you can still get it past. You know what I mean? You have to wait till that guy crosses the middle third safety. So we're just going to go ahead and we're going to do this one more time. So I'm not rolling out until that guy's pretty much already gone. And then I just give myself a little bit of a better window by moving to you know, closer to my receiver. And if you smart route this comeback, make it like right here it's about to the 30. So if you smart route that, as I'm messing it up continuously, but if you smart route that and bring it back, it's down to about the 35. So if you do that, now he's going to have about 5 more yards of separation. So let's go ahead and let's roll this, and boom. You know what I'm saying? Now we have real easy space. So the comeback is the key now. So here we go. Comeback route. Smart route him. Now you got about 5 more yards. Now we're going to roll out. Like I said, he drops back, but it's too late. It's too late. Bomb it up, touchdown. So here we go. One more time. Smart route that out. There's that comeback route. Rolling out. And he's gone. Easy money. Next up out of these single back tight slots, we have the PA post shot. So I went ahead and flipped that. We're going to do a very similar setup to what we've already done. So we're going to have that comeback route, you know, pretty much set up. You know, but you know, these other routes, I mean, I guess I like Gronkowski blocking, but I don't really have that choice. So Hogan's going to be my blocker here. So motioning out Patterson, put him on an out route, or put him on a comeback route, and then put him on a smart route is pretty much going to just make him a shorter version. So this guy, like I said, I can slant him, drag him, whatever I think will get him open, but he's not really integral to what I'm doing. So here we go. Gonna go ahead. We're gonna get this outside if I can get that play, but that was a cover 1 man, so that's gonna be yeah, it can be a little bit difficult. So you can put Hogan on a streak too. You know, which is, you know, this is a cover 4. It's a cover 4, whatever that's called, cover 4 match. So that's why that burnt that so bad. So here we go. Once again, putting him on that comeback. And then smart routing that comeback. And like I said, Gronkowski, you can do whatever you want with him. He's just going to be your check down. And we're going to get this guy pass. No way. We made it. That was a tight window, but I didn't have a lot of time, so one more time. I say I'll prefer to drag Gronk. Cancel that play action pre-snap. You don't have to do that after the fact. I'm rolling out. Like I said, those cornerbacks drop back now, but he's out of position, so it doesn't really matter. So with that comeback smart route, you can make that happen. Next up, out of the I-Form Pro, we have the, where's it at here? The halfback toss. This play, you can run it just like this. You can motion over your blocking fullback. Realistically, I probably want to move it a little bit more to the center, though. I don't want to run it with so little space. So motioning the fullback out, I think, gives them a little bit of an advantage, but it also lets the defense know where you're going to go with the play. But you can see, like I said, right there. I mean, that just gets him out on that edge to take away that receiver that much quicker. Biting around just like this, it's not necessary. You know, I mean, you can, obviously, you have to cut it back inside a little bit quicker, but it's still a good play. I find motioning out this fullback is pretty epic though, because he goes right to that edge. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't necessarily nail that block, but they got in the way. That's what's the important thing. But yeah, if you ever find yourself, you see leverage to the short side, you can run to the short side. You can motion the fullback the same way, so he helps get out on that edge. And it's an option, but like I said, the first way is definitely the better way. So let's do this one more time. We got a cover 3 safety coming down the backside. He's gonna be too late. He's gonna be too late. And I didn't get the spin there, but it's all good. Let's move on. Next up, out of the I-Form Pro, we get the halfback pass. Same setup, motion out the fullback. Just catch your opponent off guard every once in a while. You can throw a pass. You know what I mean? Like, it's a pretty neat play. I don't know if this is in any other playbook, but if you do this with the motion off the first play, and they're trying to compensate with that first play, this X route. I mean, you have to worry about your running back having a good arm, but you can see what could happen there. But realistically, this is not a play you want to run a lot, but it's definitely something you can throw into your arsenal if you have like a former quarterback playing running back type of situation. That's a good setup. But you can see, like, pass leading, you can't not pass lead with your running back. You have to basically just do a stock throw, set your feet, get a stock throw in there, and then you can catch your opponent off guard. So go ahead and we'll do this one more time. Like I said, set your feet and throw a good ball. Even there, I set my feet, didn't matter. So make sure you got a good option that somebody can do that play. A good running back, quarterback, throwing player. Next up, out of the I-Form Y-Off, we have the 95 Willie. So this play here, you can motion in your receiver, get a motion snap going here, but you have a lot of pulling linemen here, and it can create some pretty big holes, as you can see right there. This is a unique play. I don't know how many playbooks this play is in. You don't necessarily, I mean, you can motion your tight end too. It's really up to you, but the backside can be exposed a little bit if you don't motion your receiver. But this is definitely a unique play. As you can see, you have, pulling guard and whatnot. So like I said, you can do Gronkowski, but like I said, you can get caught from behind from time to time when you do this. And I don't necessarily think that it opens the hole in the middle the way that I want. But let's go ahead and let's do this one more time with the tight end. Like I said, the space in the middle there, it has times where it does that, but it's not necessarily always the way to go. I like the receiver. I think the receiver is a good way to go. Let's just go ahead and let's do this one more time with the wide receiver, and the hole is a little bit smaller, so it's really up to you which one you think is best. We're getting some heavy fronts. You know what I'm saying? We're getting some fronts that I shouldn't necessarily be able to just plow right through. So it could be the tight end. I mean, the tight end, obviously, you have more size, so maybe that's the way to go. As you see, the receiver there didn't do his job blocking, but luckily my dude spun out of it. And there's just nothing but space after that if you get past that first level. So one more time. Like I said, this is not in a lot of playbooks. This is not a well-known play either. But you can see the blocking is just very consistent. Next up, out of the I-Form slot, we got the post wheel. This play is pretty much all set up how you want it to be. You're basically playing the square route, which you can see right here is coming over the middle in a cover 3 versus the circle route. And then you got your check down, which is the tight end. So there's not a whole lot you got to do. I could pass block that running back too. His route is doing nothing. But you can see how oh, nice catch. You can see how that X route's pulling down the coverage there. So like I said, if you want to, you could take away the route that dude's doing. He's not really doing anything. Then you got your check down here. The circle route probably could have went, but I was feeling the pressure out a little bit. But like I said, the running back, I'm not really worried about it because I'll make my read quick enough anyway. And the circle route totally got caught up there for a little bit, but it doesn't really matter because you can see how that's just a huge play against man coverage. So cover 1 man blitz, circle all the way. Cover 2, and even cover 3, I'd go Hogan. That's probably the easiest way to break it down. Another good run play is the halfback stretch out of the I-form slot. Just flip it back. I'd say motion this guy out would be the way to go, and you have the closest thing in this playbook to the toss play that I put out in a very similar setup. But motioning this guy out will definitely give you an advantage to the edge, I should say. But you also, in the pass plays, if there's no motion involved, you can definitely do the same motion just to kind of uniform the plays. Would make a lot of sense because the pass plays don't really have any adjustments in this formation. Next up out of the I-form slot, we got the PA boot. So just like I was saying in the run plays, there's no real adjustments here. So you can motion out Devlin. You can also put him on a streak when you motion him out, and that'll help to get Gronkowski's route. He's not necessarily going to get open down the field, but if you have like a faster running back and you put him in there, he'll just help to pull coverage for the X route, which is pretty much the play anyway. So like I said, it's not necessarily working here as well as if I had a faster back, a faster back that can stretch the field quicker. But realistically, I'm just trying to get to the X route anyway. So he's getting open even without it. You don't even have to do any of these adjustments and he'll get open. So if I just run it just like this, he just gets open, you know what I mean? Like that's going to be it every time. And it's not Gronkowski, it's the route. It's the route setup with the high-low, with the zig in the particular version. You could always put the zig back too if you want to go the opposite direction with the zig. As you can see, I was sacked there because I didn't cancel the play action, but it's all good. So got to cancel that play action. Got to hit R2 right about here. And you can have both sides. You know what I mean? You can go either way on it. So just hit that R2. That R2 and cancel that. But obviously you can see without the zig there pulling coverage down, it can be a little bit tricky with Gronkowski. So the zig's probably the better way to go. I didn't mention the comeback route, but the comeback route's going to be open every play. So you have, you're really just going tight end to comeback route. The tight end's not open, the comeback route will be. Next up out of the I-form tight, we got the PA fullback slide. So this here, I'm going to do is motion Devlin over. You don't have to, but I find that it helps him get out on that island a little bit quicker. Against man coverage, he's not going to get open, but the tight end will. So if it's a zone coverage, it's going to be Devlin, but the other options are going to be better against man. So here we got another zone. We're just waiting for this guy to cross. I don't know why the computer defenders stop, but they do. You also have the option to put Allen on a slant and go the other way, the same way. He'll get open underneath some of these pulling routes that'll pull the zone coverages back, like right here. I mean, he's still, once again, not the best tight end in the game, but he's going to get open underneath. So I'm gonna, my first read's probably gonna be Devlin. He'll get open. You know what I mean? Like these zones, since the patch, react a little bit better to these wide open underneath routes, but it's still there. You probably want to put a running back in where Devlin is. That'd probably be the best way to go. But slanting this back is definitely. I was talking smack on him, but then he goes ahead and he stiff arms 2 guys. Next up out of the strong pro, we have the halfback off tackle. No adjustments. This play, you just you just get the edge. Like this particular setup just has a really good way of getting the edge. It's a glitchy play. I don't want to call it glitchy, but it's just a really well blocking play. Like I said right there, there's always space. There's always holes. So let's go ahead and let's do this again. I'm typically going to find myself getting the edge, but that's not to say there isn't holes up the gap there either. So no real adjustments if you want to bring in this receiver. I'm not sure that necessarily helps. If it's a man coverage, though, just take him across. But if it's a zone coverage, obviously it's not doing me any favors. So if it's a zone, leave him out there. If it's a man, you might as well just bring him across. But here it actually brought the cornerback in, which is good as I weave my way through to the cutback. Next up, out of the gun split close pats, we have the PA Y shot. So all I'm gonna do is drag circle. That's pretty much it. With all these crossing routes, you have 2 levels on this side, so this is probably going to be the most successful side. The other side is really just to pull coverage for the most part. So we're just going to go ahead and we're going to do that again. So here, the circle route never got out. But when he finally did, he pulled coverage, which is the whole point of that drag. But yeah, timing can definitely be disrupted. So here we go. We got excellent pass coverage because we have it looks like a man blitz there. So that's pretty much it. So you're just basically moonshotting on both sides. But like I said, you're not really going the square route because there's nothing pulling coverage on the square route. As we had the X route, I tried to throw it. He was wide open, but I got sacked. Which is crazy because this is, I have so much pass blocking, but whatever. So here we go, waiting for that X. Like I said, that safety doesn't bite down. He just doesn't come down on it. So, he's just playing off. That's the problem with zone this year is it just plays off. Next up, out of the gun split close pats, we have the X drag trail. So this play doesn't really have any adjustments. You can run it just like this. The running backs can get open in the flats pretty good for catch and runs if the opponent doesn't have fast linebackers. But there's no real adjustments needed here. The X route here, the circle route, they all pretty much get open. Not the best throw. Still made it happen, though. Should have been a little bit shorter. This play's a little, this whole formation really has a lot of ways to beat flats. I mean, that's really, you're going to have a lot of catch and runs from plays like this. As you can see, I go up to cover 2 there. But, like I said, no real adjustments needed. This is, real simple play as I float that up there to Gronk. But I could have went circle, too. He was open. Just want to show off some of these other plays. As like I said, these are this this receiver. Oh, look at Burkhead. He is such a he's a juking machine. I'm not saying I'm going to go triangles route too much, but here we go. We have other checkdowns too. You know what I mean? Like we have checkdowns all over the place with underneath routes, and it gets open. They get open so quick that you really don't have to worry too much about it. As you can see, like I said, Burkhead is just out in space. Like 9 times out of 10, he's gonna be out in space with nobody covering him. That's one of the good things about this play. And then these deeper routes here. As you can see, we're just not necessarily getting the throws we're looking for. Maybe I'm pass leading too much, but they're there. Next up, out of the gun split close Packers, we have the PA F slide. Another play, I mean, with these running backs going in opposite directions, you're going to have a lot of catch and run opportunities. That's what this whole formation is about. It's really hard to cover these. Another play with no real adjustments. It's just, it's really a lot of over the middle and underneath routes, just crossing. It's going to be hard for man coverage to do anything with this. You can't really run man with this. And I don't find that even the hard flats necessarily cover these underneath routes enough. But you have some really good options. But you're really reading the running backs first and then, going back. So like I said, right here, look at this. Wide open in space. I don't know if that's Jeremy Hill. I'd rather somebody faster doing that, but that's fine. It is what it is. But like I said, you're just watching these flats. Are these flats open? Yes, they are. You know what I'm saying? Because they're dropping back to the oncoming routes. And like I said, man can't really cover this. This is a great play. If somebody's running a lot of man, mix this in because these running backs are going to be even more wide open because the man coverage is going to be trailing because they're going to be lined up and you're going to be missing them the whole way. Just one more time. Like I said, that R1 route, you can't just not take that. You know what I'm saying? This is a handoff. This is like a 12-yard handoff, and it's guaranteed pretty much every time. Next up, out of the gun split close pats, we have the halfback power O. This here, you can flip this either way. Just make sure you have some good running backs. I'm not sure if Rex Burkhead is really going to be the guy, so we're going to go with Hill. In a run play anyway. So. So you're running to the 2 wide receiver side, also the tight end. I find this play really works best with power backs. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to always flip it outside like that, but if you flip the play, it's going to be a different running back. You know what I mean? If you flip the play pre-snap, this is not necessarily what you're going to do once you come to the line, but then you're going to have your other back. And like I said, I feel for whatever reason, when I run this play, I use Ricky Williams and who's the other guy? Saquon Barkley. And I feel like Ricky Williams, even though I got smashed there, Ricky Williams, I feel like he does a better job because he's a power back. So I don't know if there's anything to that, but I realistically feel like, this is like a power run. Let's go ahead and let's do this. And we're just not getting lanes right now. I'm going to do this again. So if you got your speed back, I'd say just try to stretch it wide. You know what I mean? Like White, I don't know if he's really considered a speed back, but for the Patriots, he might be. But this can be a really more explosive play. So like I said, I like running it with this guy. I like running it with the so-called power back, which I think Jeremy Hill would fit the bill here. As you can see, for whatever reason, I just feel like it blocks better. I don't know if it's in my head or what. Next up, out of the gun split close pass, we have the halfback wheel. It's another play. As far as I know, no real adjustments. The flats just scream open again for catch and run opportunities. It's so hard to cover the flats with this play. So glitchy. And it's both of them too. I mean, they're running completely different routes, but they're both just going to be open for these huge plays. You know what I mean? Like this whole formation is about the running backs and the flats. Pretty much every play. You know what I mean? It's just there. It's just always there. You know what I mean? Like right there, that was actually good coverage. You got 10 yards. So that's about it. So like I said, this is a tough formation to cover because of those flat beaters. And these routes they play off each other so well to get to these running backs. So I wouldn't even necessarily worry about the deeper routes. If you are, I mean, I would almost go with like a slant or something just to kind of, that's just an all-out blitz. But just to kind of come across these routes, like I don't think the in route's very effective. So a slant or a drag would probably be the way that I prefer to go. And then, like I said, you got Gronk. I mean, every route here gets open to an extent. Your square route is going to be like a good cover 3 or a cover up the seam or a good cover 2 right between the safeties. I mean, you just got everything. This play is just perfection. Next up, out of the gun split close pats, we got the Y out. So this play is pretty good, just like it is. I mean, it's really just a man beater play, as you can see right there. I mean, we had, he had to choose one. There's two guys and one guy covering him, especially against cover 2. Like right here, I mean, he's just streaking down the center cover 2. So maybe that fade that he's doing is better against cover 3. I really don't know, but next up, out of the gun split close pats, we have the mesh. Another play where the best thing to do is just streak this guy, and that's going to either work to beat cover 2 up the center, or it's going to get Gronkowski open on the outside, typically against like cover 3s. So this here, I don't know what that was. If it looked almost like a cover 1, but I'm sure there was another safety somewhere. So I'm just going to run just like this. Like I said, if it's a man coverage, Gronk, I would have liked to throw it a little bit sooner, but the other cornerback covering the other receiver was in the area. Next up, by the gun split close pats, we have the halfback draw. This is probably the play that your opponent's going to expect the least. It's the draw because of all the pass plays. So just make sure you mix it in. Nothing too crazy. No adjustments. Next up, out of the gun ace slot offset, we have the inside zone. Obviously, you have a lot of tight ends on the field here, so this inside zone should be really successful as long as you run off your linemen's backs. So just make sure, don't necessarily hit the hole, just run behind your linemen's backs, like right there. I swung around to get behind 77's back. That's pretty much how you run these inside zones. So right here, 66, and I didn't follow my own rule. So we're just going to take what we can get. But, this is going to be the bread and butter of most of these shotgun plays. Next up, out of the ace slot offset, we have the PA post shot. So this is going to be the first one where I utilize a motion to Allen here, which it's not letting me do now. Oh, that's right. I got to put him on a drag first. So once I put him on a drag, then he goes across. It also brings that receiver in, but all I'm really trying to do is play these tight ends off one another. So here we got the drag right away. We're going to take that. Not the fastest tight end, but he's going to get, catch and run. If you have a speed tight end, he'll get more. Ultimately, I will be reading Gronk and Allen the whole time, no matter what. It will always be these guys. So right here, he's getting to that sideline. It's all about that guy. Highlighting these tight ends, these big plays. Next up, out of the gun ace slots offset, we have the, where's that? This levels Y sail. So once again, like I said, I'm going to be motioning over this guy quite a bit. Pretty much every play from now on, I think. And then you just basically have, this is gonna either get open up the cover 2 or the cover 3 seam. And if it doesn't, then you got Gronk. And this running back is going to be money in the flats all day. I mean, there's so many great plays out of this playbook that are just flat killers. So here we go once again. Motion him across. Your opponent will think that it's dragging over the middle just like the last play. And then you really have, this here's a really, good look in a man coverage. You have your cover 2, which is the triangle route. So we'll try to get some cover 2s. I don't know how great, like I said, this tight end's not great. I keep making excuses for him. But, at some point I'm going to hit him over the cover 2 if I can. But, you mix this in with that other pass play that I showed, they're going to be expecting crossers. And then you got high-low reads on the other side, too. And I really should have hit that running back, but you know what? I'll wait for Gronk, man. I'll wait for Gronk to get deep on that. So here we go. I'm trying to get a cover 2 look so I can hit this triangle route. And I might have it. There, we finally got it. So there we go. So like I said, he will work on cover 2, and he will also work on cover 3 seams. Next up, out of the gun ace slot offset, we have the posts. You can run it just like this. The triangle route can pull coverage for that circle route, and that's a pretty good play. As I don't know why I didn't get tackled, but we'll keep going. But yeah, that's the idea. That's the design. I will be motioning that tight end over here in a minute, though, which is typically the idea. So here we go. We're going deep. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's good play. Stock. Good stock play. And if that tight end isn't covered right away, he's definitely an option. Pretty slow option, but he's an option. So as you can see, he took him a long time to get out there. So we're going to motion over my guy again. I can either put him on a bench switch or I can just put him on a streak once again. You know what I mean? That's what we've been doing anyway with him. But I still think that the options on the other side are pretty good. As you can see there, he just didn't quite get off of that break clean, but he still caught it. So it's really up to you. You can keep going with this, with Gronkowski's setup, although you don't have the underneath route. So here I was trying to wait for him to get up that cover 3, but it's all good. But this isn't as successful as the last one because the underneath route isn't there. So here we go. Like I said, it's not pulling. You don't have the zone coverage puller, so it's probably better to run it stock. So you have your option to motion him over, but stock is probably the way. As you can see, he's just getting outside. You know what I'm saying? He's getting outside that easy. Next up, out of the gun doubles, we have the where we at here? The fade halfback wheel. It's gonna be a really good play against cover one man, but it works against other things too. So all we're gonna do is motion out white. And it's pretty much the play. We probably want to be over here a little bit further, though. Like I said, both sides, if it's cover one man, which this could be, both sides are going to be really effective. I like putting Gronk on a streak, too. I think that's going to be something that's going to be effective because it'll stall coverage from coming out to where the running back is. Although he's stopped there, it typically won't do that. So you can leave Gronk doing what he's doing in a drag or something. You know, there's a couple different options, but he was wide open there up the middle too. But I was already thinking running back, so he was streaking right up the middle there. He'll force the issue with the user too. Like you can't just ignore a streaking tight end over the middle. So it's going to be like right here. Like why is he going? Why is he going by a mile? That's ridiculous. There was nobody within. Like, I don't even know what coverage that was. I got to watch the replay on that. I won't even let me watch it yet. Like he was covered for like 5 seconds. I don't know what happened there. We gotta watch the replay because I have no idea what the coverage was. Probably cover for whatever that nonsense is. Look at this shit. Look at this. What was the plan there, buddy? Lord, cover 4 is so broken. So here we go. Once again, like I said, you can drag him. You want to check down, you can drag him. I think I messed the whole play up though. I already messed the whole play up. So here we go. Yeah, you can drag him if you want. Leave him doing what he's doing. But like I said, that streak obviously is helpful. So we're going to do this again. Like I said, I can try to do that. If it's an all-out man blitz, I can try it, but I got to have more speed than that. He caught up. So here we go. Like I said, we're just kind of working this R1 and this circle combo. As you can see, that guy's he's just open. You know what I'm saying? It's too close to the sideline for my comfort, but what are you going to do? You can't. If you run it from here, it doesn't get open like that. You know what I mean? He's already getting beat. And that was actually a really good adjustment by that guy. But like I said, it's not effective. That's the idea. It's just not an effective play. And then you have, like I said, you have that triangle, that Hogan route, where I could use pretty much only if they took it away pretty good there. But I can use that only pretty much if it's cover 1. So if you want to check down, just drag Dorsett. And then we have that R1 route. Like I said, that's just pulls coverage so well. That combination of routes, it's going to get that guy open against most things. Next up, out of the gun doubles, we have the PA read. Where is it at here? Yeah, there we go. PA read at the bottom. So this play here, all you got to do is motion over Hogan, which, take your time, buddy. So here, he'll get open in the flat pretty quick. He has the option to. I also like the slant Gronkowski so he can play off of White. But this guy here, he can get open right away. A little bit more athletic of a guy could have turned upfield. If I really wanted to swap Dorsett out, that'd probably be the way to go. But you also want to cancel this play action pretty quick. I don't want to take away the route entirely because I do like it. But you can see how they clear out. The two running back and tight ends clear out the center there. So let's go ahead and let's do that again. Like I said, Hogan, you got to cancel that play action and get him out to him quick if he's the option. He's your first look. So there, he was open, but I'm not going to force that because I know the catch and run probably wouldn't have been there because it was a tight window. So here we go one more time. Slant Gronk. You can slam or drag him, it doesn't matter. So I wish I could cancel this play action a little bit quicker. I might have to do that pre-snap because you can see how he's just, he's too far to the sideline. So I might have to sacrifice that run, that that route. So we're going to do that because this year I just want this catch and run. It's a bigger play than anything else on the play anyway. So like I said, right there, and I'm just, I'm trying to turn it up. So I might have to put Dorsett in. I don't want to do that. But you need something more athletic than Hogan. But you can see how quickly and effectively this play gets open. Look at that. Look at that. Doesn't matter. Man, zone, doesn't matter. It's just that type of route. I'm actually upset. Like it gets open so quick that the screen doesn't adjust quick enough. Like he's out of picture. You know what I mean? Like I have to wait a second. I would like to throw it to him instantly, but he's out of picture to the point where I can't even see if he's open. Like if I don't know if that's translating watching this. But look how, like, the second it stops, when the snap's coming in, I have to wait. Well, I would love to throw it away, but I have to wait to make sure that he's not being cut off. So none of these other routes are really coming into effect because of this. There we go again. Like I said, if I can throw that immediately and then hopefully have a faster guy than Hogan, it's going to be money. So like I said, take away that pass block. Just because it gets in the way. So look at that, boom. Whoo! Like I said, a little bit of speed. Whoo! That's gonna be a big play. So that's pretty much it. I mean, that's the whole point of this. You have your check down and Dorsett's pretty good. Gronkowski and whatnot. I mean, all these routes are decent, but it's just I hit the wrong button. God damn it! I waited too long. No, that's okay. I'll take it back. I mean, all these other routes are decent, but what Hogan's doing here is really what makes this play special. So hey, he hasn't been covered. Now, I mean, I'm running this like 10 times in a row here. He just hasn't been covered. Not one time. You know what I mean? It's like stealing 10 yards. So I'm doing one more time. Man coverage. Man coverage typically would take this away. I guess just be real about it. Like man coverage should cover this. And if I would have waited, it would have been more wide open. Threw it actually kind of quick. But man coverage will not cover this either. If I'd have waited to get to the sideline a little bit more like that. Look at that. Look at that. Like I said, if I got one dude, I can make that dude miss. Or speed, go up the sideline. Do this one more time. Look at that. Look at that, man. They don't even react. Look at this. I could be gone. I could be housing. If I had a fast guy, I could be housing that. Next up out of the gun doubles, we have the inside zone. Nothing too crazy. You just basically have a really good inside run play, obviously. Which the inside zone is just dirty. Every formation that's in. If you wanted to match the previous play, you could just motion this guy over. You could motion snap him too. I mean, I could have used him as a blocker, but you can just tell the inside zone is just a great play. So next up, out of the gun doubles, we have the Z spot. So this play here, I have to cancel this play action. So I'm going to put, or not the play action, the motion. So I'm going to put Patterson on a drag. And then I'm going to motion over Hogan the same way that I've been doing it. All I really want here, though, is I'm trying to get Gronkowski open. It's either going to be Gronkowski or the running back. As you can see, just we're gonna hesitate that coverage with the pulling routes. I'm going to get that pretty much every time. So Patterson, he's too far out to do the route that Hogan is going to do. But this is mostly about that running back once again. As you can see, I think here we got a cover two. If we have a cover two, Hogan's going to be a big play up the middle of cover two. So once again, put that guy on a drag. He'll create a check down. Hogan's a good cover two, cover three guy. Although obviously if you have cover three, this catch and run, he didn't accelerate very good, but that catch and run is going to be good against most things too. So moving on. Next up out of the gun empty base flex, we have the 4 verticals. This is not something you can run the entire game, but if your opponent isn't expecting it, you can catch him by crossing these 2 receivers. Your R1 route's also really good, good cover 3 play, but overall, I mean, this is not something that you can run non-stop. But throw it in your arsenal every once in a while. Like I said, your opponent won't be expecting it, and you just have, it's not the easiest thing to cover over the middle. And then, like I said, your R1 route, it's a good cover 3, but I don't know if I'm going to see any cover 3s here. Like here we might have a cover 3, so that R1 route's traditionally going to beat that deep as long as he hangs on to it. So that's pretty much it. If you want to kick your cover 3 beaters up a notch, you can always put these guys on out routes. and that'll be a it'll help pull coverage. I mean, you're not only going to beat cover 3, you'll beat cover 2 with this route as well if you throw it inside. So with the out routes. Next up out of the gun empty base flex, we have the middle high low. So here we go. We're just going to put Gronk on a drag, put Patterson on an in route, and this is pretty much the play. The R1 route here is going to be a good cover 3 play, and your opponent won't expect seeing that coming across. So here we go. Messed that up already. So here we go. Let's run it just like this. Like I said, you're mostly going to be throwing to the 3 routes on the right side. But if you run to a cover 1, or somebody likes to run cover 1, the triangle's a really good route. So here we go. Do it one more time. So that drag's always there. That's an instantly open route. That's probably the most open route consistently is going to be that drag. Next up out of the gun trips Y flex, we have the slot 2 buck. So dragging Gronkowski, putting Patterson on an in route is a really good setup. The R1 route is going to be one of your major reads, as that was a cover 2 man, if I had to guess, as he splits that. But that's pretty much your look on the one side. The comeback route on the other side's pretty consistent, although there it was a tight window. You won't always see that. But that's going to be something you'll probably not have to use too often, because these other routes on the right side are typically going to be open, whether it's the in route or the longer version. But yeah, this play you used to be able to put this in before the update. You used to be able to make something out of that play. You used to be able to make something out of that R1 route that was like a 1-play touchdown. So if I get a cover 3 look here, I'll do a cover 3 variation. But you used to be able to do something like this, where you could basically put now if you put Dorsett on a smart route, I think it could still have success, but I don't know if I'm necessarily going to see a cover 3 on this play. But if you in route Patterson and streak Gronkowski against a cover 3, you could still have some opportunities. But this is not a cover 3. This is a straight up 0 blitz or a cover 1 blitz. So next up out of the gun trips Y flex, we have the hitch post. Hitch post, my bad. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to put R1 on you can put him on a in route, not a slant. I used to do the slant. And then you want to put Dorsett in a comeback and then smart route him. And you'll have a short version here. I'll go ahead and I'll pass block the running back, and this is pretty much the play. So the X route should get open deep pretty well. I'm not suggesting you'll get going for a home run play, but it has the possibility to do that. So in route R1, put Dorsett on a comeback, and then smart route him, and that's pretty much the best way to go. So here we had inside position as we sneak it in. We got Gronk. He's got a strong dude, so he can get away with that stuff. But this is pretty much the play. We're gonna do it one more time. Got that X route deep, I can tell already. So yeah, I mean, he can definitely get going, but faster tight end would have been gone there, I guess. Not like Gronk is a bad tight end, but here's definitely probably a cover 3. I don't want to say definitely, but more like a cover 1. So here we go, man. He's you can throw it to Gronk all the time in those windows, in those tight windows. He'll get it done. So here we go, one more time. It looks like it might be a cover 3 once again. So like I said, you have definitely a home run window just with a faster tight end be gone. At least that's my prediction. I can't really I don't think Gronk's going to get it past like I would like. And there, I mean, I rolled out, so that's why. Anytime you roll out now, the cornerback drops back. So if I didn't roll out, he would have been fine. So one more time. It's definitely a cover 2. I don't know why this guy, he's just not getting any separation. Maybe because it's, I don't know, Cordell Patterson must really suck. So one more time. Maybe I'll get a cover 3. Finally got a little separation here from this guy. I mean, he's a good route. You know what I mean? Like, that's a good route for cover 2, apparently. So I definitely expect Patterson to beat, more things. And there we got that cover 3 hole. But like I said, he's just, if he was a little more athletic, he could probably make that dude miss or something like that and be a really big play. But it is what it is. Good play. So next up out of the gun trips Y ISO, we have the deep attack. So this play right here, just motioning Gronk. You know, there's no, the other adjustments aren't really necessarily needed that I put out in the past. I put out a couple different adjustments you can do, but I find if you just motion in Gronk, that's all you need. So let's just motion this guy in, drag Hogan, and we got like a 0-man blitz. So, you know, I'd much rather have Phil Dorsett there, but that's not a bad option. So I guess, you know, pass blocking the running back might be a necessity. So there, you know, we just pass block the running back so we get a little extra time. But like I said, I like the running back route, so it's really up to you which one you want to do. You know, dragging Hogan. This is the original way I put it out. Dragging Hogan and putting White on a pass block. That's the original method that I put it out. But like I said, I like that running back. But you can see here, I mean, this is just the results. This guy, apparently this setup gets this guy screaming open for 50-yard bombs. Next up, out of the Gun Trips T Flex, we have the PA Crossers. I don't find the PA Crossers works like it used to, so I find putting Gronk either in a drag or a slant, which was always the way that I did it anyway, was pretty much the method. But against cover 3, what Gronk's doing doesn't really have success. So slanting him back across, especially in a zone, you can see how, I guess that wasn't a zone, that was probably a man, but you can see how, you know, he's still going to be a really successful route. Probably want to move, you know, I probably want to run this from the left hash, but whatever. But like I said, if you have it like this, it's definitely not as successful as it once was, in my opinion. But in a cover 2 scenario, the triangle route's really good. So here, this looks like a cover 3. So like I said, I'll run it like this. I just don't think that this necessarily, you see how he shortens that route now? I mean, you can still make it happen, but I just don't find it's as consistent as it was before the patch. So you can still do that, but it's always going to be good against man too. Like here's a cover 2, so I should just wait for that triangle route to cross and typically be a big play. So that's the guy for cover 2. Cover 3 is typically Patterson, but like I said, it's a little bit iffy now after the patch in my opinion. And then you know, this slanting tight end is a really good check down. Anytime you got a man coverage, Patterson's just going to be a really great man beater. I don't think I've really gotten too much man yet. So here, I don't even know what that was. That would look like a cover 4 or something like that. Which, you know, that probably gives it a little bit more problems than anything. Now, here we go. So cover 3, like I said, that slant also creates an opening for that guy in a lot of different coverages, like cover 3 and stuff like that. Next up, out of the Gun Trips TE, we got the PA Shot Wheel. So all we're going to do here is we're going to put Gronkowski either on a drag or on a slant. Against man coverage, triangle route's going to be really good. As you can see right here, it is a man. So, I mean, I wish I had Philip Dorsett running that. But, you know, that's not a horrible, you know, option. But I should definitely put my speed guy there. So, like I said, the slant, too, that can help create windows for the square route, which was open there, but I get sacked. But the slant, like I said, it'll pull back that coverage, like right there. He hesitates towards that guy. No, he still was there, though. But I still made the play. But typically, that's not going to be the look. Typically, that slant will pull that linebacker back, like right there. You see how he follows him? And then I had to make a diving catch. So here we go. Now we got a man. So like I said, anytime you come to the line and you see there's no cornerbacks on the right side of the field, it's going to be a big play. But I'm getting sacked quite a bit. And like I said, I'm not really happy with the speed of the receiver that I have there anyway. So here we go. Cover 2. Is that Edelman or Hogan? I don't remember now. But you know, like I said, right here, this is not, you know, I'm just looking at that third receiver to see if there's somebody over in front of him, but it's a man anyway, so you're gonna figure out this man in zone pretty quick after you snap the ball. A lot of times the coverages can be kind of deceiving. And then your circle route's actually a good play too, although there I kind of misread it. I thought that maybe he would clear and follow that other guy, but he didn't. But that circle route can be a big play too if coverage pulls. But realistically, your second read is always going to be, it's going to be triangle, then you're pretty much going to go to the square route. Going triangle to square. So triangle's covered, square should be open because of that slant. It's pretty much the easiest way to say it. And then your check down after that, which is either, you know, if you really want to check down, dragging them, but if you want to create that square, the big play, that's going to be the look. So here we got another man coverage. It's probably the most separation that he's had. But typically, if you have your fastest guy here, he should be able to go to the house. Next up out of the gun trips tee, we have the inside zone. So this here, I mean, you just have, you know, inside zones. I keep bringing them up because they're important. They're one of the best run plays, no matter what the formation in the game. So just make sure that you're mixing it in here the same way you are the passing plays, even though I'm not getting great examples. But this is typically pretty money. So we're going to run this one more time. Just run off my my linemen's backs, and you know, it's a consistent play. Next up out of the gun trips TE, we have the PA slot corner. This play, I like running this play just like this. I think it's an effective play. As you can see, we're not getting much fucking pass coverage though. But other than that, yeah, not a lot of adjustments here. If you want to, you can put Dorsett on an out route and try to get that that circle route deep. As you can see right there, like I said, not the like the receiving core here is not that great, but he still got it done. And a lot of that is due to the square route being like it was. So here we get a man coverage. I'll throw in the break. I mean, we had all out blitz again. What else is new? But you know, that's an option. But like I said, running it as is pretty decent too. I like the crossing receiver. And then we get that one-on-one right here with Gronk. I don't know why I didn't hang on to it though. He typically does. So you know, not a lot of changes, not a lot of stuff that you're going to want to alter on this play. Nice possession catch right there as that defender was in the area. But you know, this is as far as reads go. You know, if you got a one-on-one with Gronk, I mean, if it's a man coverage, pretty much all these slanting outside routes will get done. Like right here, like I threw a little bit late, but cover two, both Hogan and Edelman should get open at different points. Here's a man coverage, so probably should have threw that a little bit earlier, but he still made the play. But if you diagnose man, Gronkowski's just gonna, you know, because there's nobody in his way. So if you diagnose man, he's gonna be a really good option. And then, like I said, this right here, I'm not sure what that is, but you can just dot that up pretty much every time. The longer that play goes, the more this route just gets open. Like I said, that's the moneyest route on the field. Next up out of the gun trips tee, we have the Pats wide post. So motioning out this running back and putting him on a slant, I find that's a really good high-low. And then on the other side, just putting Dorsett on an out route to try to get Edelman open deep is a pretty good option. So here, like I said, I just want that window to be pulled open by the slant. So White, just motion him out, real simple. If I want to, I could also put this guy on a streak to try to help Edelman out, but that's not necessarily always going to be the way. So this guy's definitely the check down too, that slant. Just got to make a read quicker than that. So here we go once again. You can drag Hogan. I mean, Hogan, you can do whatever you want. That's the thing. He's not really too integral to anything. And then we're just going to go ahead. We're going to dot that up right underneath whatever coverage that was. Not 100% sure. But we're just kind of reading space. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So here we go. Check down. I'll take that. So it'll always be there. It's very similar to a play I put out in the Saints. That you know, was one of my more favorite plays. But anytime I see that route at the tight end position, it's pretty much, you know, it's pretty much a really good play. So here we go. I'm going to dot up circle again. Like I said, he's just going to get deep on that one. I thought he was tackled and I stopped. But yeah, that's just, you know, like I said, reading space. This combination with Edelman and Dorsett now after the patch is really a good combination. So here we go. He's biting on that lower route and catch it, man. Oh, that was crazy, man. He's playing hopscotch out there or something. What the hell was that? I gotta watch a replay of that. He's playing. He's like beanbagging it out there. Let's do that one time. Look at it. Look at that. Off his back, kicking it up in the air. Whoop! Let's go. One more time. This is a style points. This is style points right here. Gronk is the man. Playing NFL football and doing stuff like that. It's crazy. So, like I said, you can streak Hogan if you want. It's an option. I mean, there's just nothing there. Like, there's no coverage there. I'm just watching that route the whole time. He's just running in a field of flowers. Like, what the hell's going on? This is what they patched. So look at this. Let's do this again. He's gonna be open every time. That's the idea. He's open every time. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Just pass lead up. You know what I'm saying? Floated in there. It's just that guy's always open. Next up out of the gun bunch, we got the Pats Verts. So you can run this two different ways. You can motion over white. I think that this is a good way to go. I think that he gets open underneath coverages really well. So that's probably my favorite way to run this compared to the version out of the gun bunch Ace, is because of this particular running back setup. Also, you can slant Dorsett to kind of create like a high-low read. But there's just, it's the same play that was in the gun bunch Ace. It just has that route, so why not accentuate that route? But if you want to, you can run it the old-fashioned way, which I showed earlier, which is just motion out this guy, put this guy on a drag, yada, yada, yada. It's the same thing. So it's really up to you. But it can work both ways. So like I said, I did this out of the single back bunch Ace. Pretty much the same deal, but I'd say putting Dorsett on a slant would be the one thing that would be the consistent, because there's no reason to have, he did catch that nice, but there's no reason to have White and Dorsett doing basically the same job, which is a drag, because you'll see they'll kind of run into each other at the same pace, which is not going to be very helpful to you. But this route, though, that's much better run by a receiver than a tight end, so there is one benefit to that there. Next up, out of the gun bunch, we got the corner strike. This right here, all I really think that the best way to go is just put Hogan on a streak, and you're pretty much playing Patterson and Gronkowski off of one another. If Gronkowski's open right away, take it. If he's not, typically Patterson will be open there. That was a tight man coverage. Probably better served if I had a better receiver running that route. Like there, Gronk was open. I wish I would have took it a little bit quicker. I probably could have ran and caught and ran a little bit better. Also a little bit too far over. If I run this from like the far sideline, it'd probably be a little bit better. Give myself a little bit more space. So just streak R1. That's it. And then let's say if Gronk's open like he is right there, just take what you can get. 5 yards. Got a better athlete, you might get more. So we'll do that one more time. Like I say, he's not open, so we're going to throw in the break. And that was a pretty favorable animation, even though I didn't catch it. So I'll do it one more time. And we're going to throw in that break again. Kind of a weird animation once again, but it happened, but it worked out. If you do have a cover 2, though, Hogan will be open up that cover 2, or whatever this is. Like I said, that was a cover 3, drop down, I guess. Got to hang on to it, though, bro. You're a rugby player. What happened? So, like I said, cover 2, R1 will, if he ever gets off of that look. It almost looks like they tried to break this a little bit by the way they're running into one another and slowly coming out of this bunch. It almost seems like EA might have put a little patch ski on this bad boy. But it still works. I mean, so like right there, it's cover 3, but he's getting laid out. So maybe EA tried to patch this a little bit. So here we go. I say I'm just pass lead inside. Cover 3, cover 2. He should get that. Should get that every time. And then, the big play is the circle route outside. If I can just pass lead that, and like I said, I don't have a great receive. This is not a great receiving core, but we're getting it done. Next up out of the gun bunch, we got the halfback base. All about that base. So it's just nothing really crazy. It's just the best run play. They don't have a draw or an inside zone, so this is the best way to go. It's a little bit funky because we got pulling guys. I'm a stern believer of guys holding their blocks via like stretches and inside zones and pulling blocks, but it still works out. Very similar to the inside zone. Next up out of the gun tight slots, we got the mesh. Now, I'm pretty sure that they patched this so you couldn't do this anymore, but apparently not. So maybe it was out of the Packers where you couldn't motion the receiver to the line, but I guess in the Patriots you can. So all I'm going to do is put circle on a streak once again. And this is pretty much the play that was in the single back. You can see how he just gets wide open there. Doesn't want to catch it, though. It's kind of a weird animation, but it's whatever. But we're just streaking Patterson. The only reason we're streaking Patterson is so that Hogan can get open underneath all of this. And if you have anything like a cover 3 or cover 4, you're going to see this instant open route to the sideline, which obviously is getting close to 20 yards within like a second or two. So, who wouldn't want to run that? So here we go. Like I said, anytime that's covered, just take this guy. You know what I mean? Just take the check down. That's the play you're going for. And if it's not there, don't force it. Sometimes the Patterson route will be open too. But since you have a streak on the other side underneath Dorsett, Gronkowski could get open as well, but you're not getting the same pulling coverage there. So why would you want to do it over there? But like I said, this is just an instant open, 15 to almost 20 yards every time. So real easy play. And like I said, if Patterson's there, if the user tries to sneak outside to take this away, a lot of times Patterson will be open. So there he wasn't, but I'm going to try to force it to Patterson at least once. And I'm getting 10 yards on that drag. You know what I mean? Like, this is just a nightmare to cover. Really tough play. And the only reason that I know about it is because somebody ran against me in Weekend League, and I was like, man, that's a nightmare to cover. so there we go. We finally got that cover 2 look. We can hit Patterson right over the middle. Real easy play. Really devastating play at that. Next up out of the gun tight slots, we got the bench swap. So motioning the guy to the line of scrimmage once again and streaking Gronkowski. That's pretty much the look. Your R1 route will get, uncontested, the same thing. You know what I mean? You're just going to get him out open in the in space. But yeah, this is pretty much it. So, Patterson here, that's your cover 2 concept, just kind of reading where's that guy going. If he goes down like he did there, you're going to take it to Patterson. Patterson can't hang onto the ball because he's a shit wide receiver. But you can see how if I would have threw that maybe a little bit later, we would have took that. So cover 2, like I said, there he's not dropping back, although he was. so you just got to make a quick read on a cover 2. So cover 3 here, Gronkowski's probably going to be pretty good up that seam, but then you have that too. I mean, that's going to be there against cover 3 or cover 2 based off of what you're looking at. So then you got your bench switch on the other side, which some people like to run. I'm not a huge fan. But, like I said, I'm going to try to stick to this. And I'll possession catch that because I don't trust that guy to hold on to it. Next up out of the gun doubles wide flex, we got the shark halfback wheel. This play right here, all you got to do is motion out white. Showing something similar to this, but you're going to see how this guy either gets open in the flats immediately or once he turns upfield. I mean, he's going to get open against most things. So kind of forcing it. But you can also put Gronk here on a streak. And he can get open against a lot of stuff. So here we have, we'll take the check down here. Once again, we have that drag. So when that guy pulls back, the drag will be there. Let's go ahead and let's do this again. Do that shark wheel. So here we go. He's covering space. And I don't know why Gronk, doesn't decide to catch it without doing some like crazy tricks and acrobatics again. I don't know why this guy feels the need to put on a show. Like, we all know you're a great player, but for some reason this time, he decided to bounce it off his head twice like a soccer ball before coming up with it. What is going on with this game? So here we go. Do it again. I don't know why. The real question is why he was uncovered straight up the middle of the field. That's the real question. I don't know what the hell that was about. So here we go. We're going to get circle on this one. It would have if it wasn't a horrible throw. He was open. I don't know what happened there. Tom Terrific is losing the battle of time right now. So here we go. Once again, we have that X route. Like I said, cover 2, that can be the play. But cover 2 man, probably not. So here we go. Got cover 3. So I already know this R1 route is just going to be all open-ish up cover 3. And then I throw a really bad ball because I was pass leading inside for some reason. So here we go. Cover 3 once again. We're going to have that. I'll probably just bullet it. I don't want to take any chances. And I ran out of bounds by accident, but still an instant play. So that's it. That's the end of the video. If you guys have any questions or need any help with anything, just hit me up with the information at the bottom of the ebook or on my website, madmoyshot.com. And that's it. Thanks for watching.